Hello everyone, this is PC Death Gunner. Welcome back to another episode of Go Nippon 2015 edition. Last episode we ended up going with Makoto and Akira to Kyoto, and we just got here after riding the train. So, let's see how well this is. Let me see the log, see what was the last... No! Well, let me see the log. Rip. But anyway, such a long time, huh? But... Huh? What's wrong? What year did the Indo period start? In 1603. Wasn't Tokyo the center of government during the Indo period? In that case, Kyoto should have stopped being the capital that year. You make a good point. It's true that the center of Japanese government was moved to Tokyo during the Indo period. But while the shogun had the real power in the Indo period, the formal head of the government was not the shogun himself, but the emperor here in Kyoto. So even during that time, the Japanese government was technically centered in Kyoto. And even when it officially moved to Indo, Kyoto and Osaka continued to grow as if they were still next door to the capital, right? That's right. I see. So you could say Kyoto is the city that maintains the traditions, forms, and culture of Japan's good old days. I see. I guess Kyoto is the first thing I think of when it comes to traditional Japanese culture. Yes, it is. But still. But you'd rather be seeing the town for yourself instead of listening to our lectures, right? How did you know that? Because we can read your face like a book. Oh my gosh, I'm getting tongue-tied already. Right, Aki-chan? Yeah, especially when you're thinking perverted things. Yeah! No way! A response like that. Wait a minute. You mean you do think those things? No. That was just an automatic response, that's all. What? Are you saying we're lacking in womanly charms? Oh my gosh, what are you talking about? Do you want me to think those things or not? That's... Oh, you bucka. I wish I actually had it where it said that, but no, it's idiot. Of course, I don't want you to think about it, you perv. I told you I'm not... Come now, Aki-chan. Let's put this strange quarrel to rest. Concerning the earlier issue, it's no wonder you're more interested in the modern town. Kyoto is still a major metropolis after all. So it's still gradually changing as new people and shops come in. I see. Not to mention, I can see that it's true. Well, as long as we're here, we really should look all around. So let's cut the chit-chat. It's time for the quick tour. Yes, it is. Oh, damn. Wrong voice. That's what I've been waiting for. So, where should we start? First, a word of warning about getting around Kyoto. Yes, Kyoto is dotted with all kinds of temples and shrines, so it's surprisingly difficult to get around in it. The easiest method is the bus line managed by the city bus. Bus, huh? I'm not good with those. I get motion sickness. It's not as if we'll be on them for very long, though. Don't worry. The city bus has a day pass that allows you to ride as much as you like for 500 yen. $5. So here, this is your portion. Oh, thanks. That's my only-chan, so well prepared. Tourists mostly use the 100, 101, and 102 bus lines, because there's a lot to see along them. Lately, the buses that tourists use most often having given easily indistinguishable car designs and gimmicks. So let's all use the buses a lot. Okay, then once more, where should we go first? Let me see, I think the best place... That's the best place, don't you? That. It's gonna be one of the shrines. Okay, something with 300 yen. First, the entry fee there. Yep, sure. This is the Kiyomizu-dera, the most famous temple in Kyoto. Kiyomizu-dera. They say Kiyomizu-dera was completed in the year 778, before Kyoto became the capital. Before Kyoto was capital, there are temples that old. Kiyomizu-dera is known for how the main hall bulges out of the side of the mountain. The main hall has been rebuilt over and over due to fires, but the last rebuild was in 1633, so it's still quite old. So it was still built around 400 years ago then. It's standard for stone buildings in America and Europe to survive that long, but for these eastern wind structures to last so long shows the care that goes into them. I know. Do you know the Japanese phrase "jump from the stage at Kizomizu" mean to plunge headfirst into something? The stage at Kiyomizu, it refers to this building? Yes, apparently if you gather up your courage and jump from here, your wish will come true. They say that in the old days, many men really would make the jump to show their determination. From here, but it's really far down. Yeah, they say some people die trying it. Honestly, men are such bacchus. I can't help but agree with you there. As long as we're here, let's go to the Ottawa waterfall below. The Ottawa waterfall? Yes, it's the smallest waterfall consisting of 3 narrow streams. The waterfall has existed for over 1,000 years, and back then people said the water would confer wealth or long life, and they loved it. It was like the fountain of youth. The fountain of youth. Okay, let's check it out. Whoa, there really are 3 trails of water here. Yeah. Each stream confers its own blessing. From right to left, they confer academic success, health, and love respectively. Academics, health, and love. So then, starting from the right, I take the water from each and drink it. Okay, let's start with the water. Academics, go, go. Now the water health, and then the water love. Go, go, go. Oh, it's delicious. It could really be the fountain of youth. Huh? Now that I think about it, you guys only drink from the health and love springs, and none from the academics one. How come? Well, right? Yes. What, you both look so serious. Truth is, says that anyone green enough to drink from all 3 rivers will be denied their blessings. What? Wait, is that true? Yes, I'm sorry to say. No way, why didn't you tell me that earlier? Because it wouldn't have been as funny. Sorry about that. So I didn't earn any blessings today. I could have used the blessing on love at least. So now that I think about it, Makoto and Akira both drink from the love springs. Sorry, Makoto, you are not getting anything. First entry fee there, 400 yen. Now, our next Kyoto sightseeing spot is here. Say, at least take us to the King Cryo. Oh, this is the Kinkaku-ji. Of course, Jin means temple. Same as Da. Kinkaku. The kin in Kinkaku is reference to the grand golden color of the temple. That's just its nickname. What's its real name? Yep. Rokujin. I know it's Rokujin. I know I screwed up, but that's right. You really know your stuff, Aki-chan. Hold your applause until the end. I still know a lot more about the Rokujin. Then why don't you tell us about it, Akira? Leave it to me. The fact is, there was already a temple here in the 13th century, but the noble who commissioned it was put to death for conspiring against the emperor, and it fell to ruins. Then around the end of the 14th century, the shogun Ashikaga Yoshimitsu fixed it up and built a new temple, which he called the Rokujin. Wow, is that really what happened? Yes, she's exactly right. Wait a minute, why are you asking One-chan for confirmation? No reason, just wanted to be sure. Let me tell you, this isn't all I know. I also know that when the temple was completed, the grounds around it were larger and it completely burned down once. burned down the temple? Was it in a war or what? Zzz. Sorry, it burned down just 60 years ago. It was arson. Arson? You mean someone set fire to it? Yeah, in 1950, by a young monk still in training. A monk committed arson? That's right, the temple was already a famous national treasure at that time, so it caused a huge stir. I see, that makes sense. Then a world famous author named Mishima Yoko wrote a novel about it. The name of that novel is, of course, Kinkakujin. Yeah. Wow, Akira, you really know a lot about the Kinkakujin. Told you I knew a lot about it. So have you read the novel? No. Oh dear. Mishima Yoko's Kinkakujin has been translated to many other languages, so you should read it if you get the chance. Sure, I will. He probably wrote it after visiting the place for himself, so it should be more interesting now than if I had read it beforehand. I'll be sure to look around for it when I get home. I think I might try to read it when I get home too. I see. I think you would get a lot out of it, Aki-chan. Kinkakujin, huh? The walls are covered with gold leaf, so it's as gold as the name suggests. I heard that ancient Europe referred to Japan as Jaiping, the land of gold. But looking at this, I can see why Marco Polo would have felt that way. What do you think of Kyoto so far? Let's see. At first, I wasn't really seeing the town's history and culture at all. Oh, that shouldn't be coming out. But the more we walk around, the more I feel the traditional atmosphere seeping all over. That's right. Kyoto has a lot of temples of shrine, so you can walk from temple to temple and shrine to shrine. Just walking around can give you a deep impression of the town. Yeah, that's really true. But how do I say this? It's more than that. There's, even among the smallest shops in town, so many of them sell traditional craft goods. So that also gives me the impression of a town that values its history. That's true. While Kyoto continues to expand, the city as a whole protects its traditions. I think that's what makes it so amazing. Preserving the history while taking in the new, eh? But now that I think about it, I think Tokyo has a similar sort of atmosphere. With Kyoto, it just feels a whole lot sharper. When I think about it that way, Kyoto really is like a representation of Japan itself. That's it. There's one thing that surprised me when coming to Kyoto. Goddammit. Surprised you? What is it? Language. Language, I see, because it's not like Tokyo Japanese. That's right, it's a dialect, right? The accent and the words people use here are nothing like the Japanese I'm used to. That's true. People in Kyoto, Osaka, and Kobe all speak what is called Kanseiben. Kanseiben. Yes, Kobe, Osaka, and Kyoto all have their own dialects, but the general term for it is Kanseiben. Kanseiben, I see. It's hard for you in native Japanese to imitate. Kanseiben. It's a unique way of speaking. I see, but how should I say? It feels like it has nuisance that I don't hear. Nonsense that I don't hear in Japanese. Tokyo. That's true. It's fast-paced and kind of funny. That's right. When you listen in on the exchange, it almost sounds like they might burst out laughing. Hear what I said before, that Kyoto was the capital of Japan long ago. While that was going on, the city of Osaka was also developing next door. Osaka developed as a merchant city. They based their lives around merchant culture. So I think their language developed around the interaction between a shop owner and a customer. Making the customer feel comfortable is so important in the business world. You mean they make them laugh so they can relax and feel like buying things? It's just my own speculation, but I do wonder if it's true. The real Kansai has done a lot of developed comedians and comedy culture, so you might hear Kansai band on TV too. Now I think about it, it sounds really cute when girls speak it too. We don't speak Kansai band. Does that mean you don't think we're cute? That's not it. That's not what I was trying to say at all. So you're saying you wish we both spoke Kansai band? That's right, exactly. I mean, that's exactly the same compliment. Even without speaking Kansai band, I think we make a good comedy team, don't you? Hmm. Oh my gosh. Anyway, we have one more place to go today. It's very close to where we are now. What kind of temple is it this time? Oh my, we're not going to a temple. Really? Then where are we? Uh, Ta-da! This is Kyoto's premier entertainment district, Gaon. While the buildings here are older, more refined feeling, have an older, more refined feeling to them. God. Gaon is the gateway to the Yasuka Shrine, so it's basically a town that popped up along the road to the shrine. The name Gaon comes from the fact that the Yasuka Shrine was once known as the Gaon Shrine. I see. So is there something on this street? Like what? Well, it's certainly a very beautiful street, and it has a refined atmosphere, but isn't like there a famous building or... Yeah, there's nothing like that here, but it's in its place. In its place. Yeah, look there, walking toward us. Walking. Ah. There's a woman walking toward us, with tiny red lips on a face made in all white. And such a beautiful kimono. Is that a high class geisha? Sort of. Geisha is used only in Tokyo. In Kyoto, they are called ginko. Ginko. Yes, and a young apprentice ginko is known as a maiko. She looks young, so she's probably a maiko. Ah, she just turned to us and bowed. She's so cute. Hey, One-chan, I hear back in the days, maikos were girls around 10 years old. Is that true? That's what they say. 10 years old, they started that young? Yes, that was because Maiko and Ginko would play instruments at banquets, sing, and dance. They were like flowers used to add life to a party, and men of high standards and rank would come to them. So in order to keep them from offending anyone, they received strict instruction in discipline and manners at a very young age. That's the kind of system it was. So for all its beauty, their world was a harsh one too. Yes, however, it's now seen as problematic for a child to work so hard. So nowadays, you can't begin Maiko training until you finish school. I saw on TV once that there were fewer and fewer women who wanted to become Maiko too. I guess that's true. I guess that's true in all countries. Jobs that were standard long ago are gradually declining. It's too bad, but yeah. Ah, but the TV also said that people seem to want to do it more now compared to before. But I'd say that the training is so strict that many people just up and quit. Just because you want it doesn't mean you'll succeed. But Maiko and Ginko are part of an amazing culture. There must be more people who want to carry it on. That's it. As long as we're here, why don't we call a Ginko-san tonight in? Unfortunately, that's not possible. Huh? Why not? The girls refuse first-time customers. Most people have to be referred by an existing customer. I see. There are some exceptions lately, and I heard that there are some events where you can hire a Ginko for a brief period of time. But it probably takes a lot of money, right? I see. I guess that's true. Yeah, I understand that. It was just an idea. I can tell you're pretty upset about it just from the way you're talking. I told you, I was joking. I don't think you were. Anyway, as long as we're here, we should Stop by the Sakura Shrine, then back to our hotel. Okay. Okay. Whew. The Sakura Shrine sure was beautiful. Well, let's head to our hotel for the night. Sounds good. Just what kind of hotel are we staying at? Hey, One-chan, are you sure it's down this way? Yeah, I'm sure. It's just a little farther. Wow, this looks like a regular civilian street. Is there really a hotel in this area? Oh, there it is. Here. Huh, this is... It really looks like... Isn't this just someone's house? He looks that way, doesn't it? But this is a very fine inn. Wow. They call it Kyo Machiya or Machiya. Kyoto was originally a castle city, or castle town, so there are a lot of buildings like these where merchants and artisans would use them both as a work and living space. As time passed, they deteriorated and more have been demolished. But recently there's been a movement to reinforce these old buildings and renovate them into something new. But the quality of the old days remains. For instance, the outer facade is different from the building we live in, right? It takes things like not letting you see from the outside and keeping cats and dogs from peeing on the walls into consideration. They're even worried about cats and dogs. Isn't it funny? So now there are a lot of inns that make use of the old Kiyomachi Inn. This is one of them. So this was originally our artisan's house. It's entirely possible. This is an inn. A lot of Japanese hotels charge by person rather than by the number of rooms. So the matcha are more mainstream and charge by room. So if you're staying with your friends or family, they're your best bet. On the other hand, they don't feed you, so you need to prepare food yourself or pick it up somewhere. But I get to stay in a place that's pure Japan, so I don't mind at all. That's true, and even without that, Kyoto has a lot of delicious restaurants. Well, let's go and... Oh, look. Ah. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Are you okay? Yeah. These buildings were made for the height of old-time Japanese people, man. So the ceilings are very low. That means tall men and foreigners have to be careful, otherwise they'll bump their heads just like you did. Also, the houses themselves are very small. The stairs are narrow and sometimes steep, so be careful. I get it. I'll be more careful when I'm moving around. Okay, I'm going to end this episode here. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you hit that like button. Or leave a comment. Your guys' question today is going to be... what's one of the most unique places you have ever stayed at? Be it a town, if you can't remember, inns, hotels, whatnot. In my case, I actually stayed at a haunted hotel. Right there in, Gettysburg. Right there, actually, beside the, center battlefield with all the graves and unmarked tombs. So, yeah. That was actually a fun time to sleep. But anyway, if you guys do want to see more of this series or my other series, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Anyway, this is PC Deathcare. So I hope you enjoyed. Keep playing on. See yas.